Hello everyone. For this video, I'd like to give an explanation of the design process in the third level of Secret of the Blank Dungeon, which mimics the design process of the fifth level of the official Journey to Wizard Hall Hold. Although, in the original fifth level, there were no monsters in the entrance room, I decided to give you monsters right away here, again because of the combat-oriented theme of the hold. Here, I introduced Wubbas, just like the 5th level did in the original series. But I used more Wubbas and Roaches than appeared in the 5th level because of the combat-oriented theme. And you use the Wubbas to prevent yourself from getting swamped by Roaches. This room is much more intense, to emphasize the combat-orientedness of the hold. And in particular, Roach Queens constantly spawn Roaches instead of just having one set of Roaches like in the first room. And you have more Wubbas because you have more Roaches approaching you at once. And I also have narrower hallways, so that navigating around the Wubbas is more of a challenge than the first room. Like so. This room actually borrows from the 6th level of the official hold instead of the 5th level, in particular the room where you use trapdoors to navigate around rock golems, but here, you use trapdoors to navigate around Wubbas instead. Although it is not too huge of a difference because of how they move in exactly the same way. And the other difference is that, whereas in the original room I am referencing, you only navigate around rock golems, and here you have to navigate around the counterpart Wubbas and Roaches. And the Wubbas will get in your way while you are dealing with the Roaches. This room is almost identical to the entrance room, but is simply a more intense version of it, where you navigate around regular Roaches rather than Roach Queen Horde. And there's a lot more Wubbas to actively impede your progress. In this room, you have to be very careful about how you deal with the Wubbas because there are trapdoors that get in your way easily as well. So you have to be mindful about not dropping the trapdoors in a manner that the Wubbas will block you. Like so. This room is actually a tribute to the 2nd level of the official hold, where you dealt with tunnels and Roach Queens. But it can be thought of as a more intense and challenging version of that room, where you have Wubbas in addition to tunnels of Roach Queens. I designed this room in a particular manner so that you have to be strategic about what entrance you choose, so that you do not get overwhelmed by Roach hordes, nor do the Wubbas block you. And as you can see, oftentimes the Wubbas will block you even if you try your best to avoid it. So what you do is, you have to manipulate them and manipulate the Roaches to prevent the Wubbas from blocking you, like so. This room can be thought of as a more open-ended counterpart to Once North, and a much less intense version. Although you do have to be strategic about once all the trapdoors are gone, not getting overwhelmed by all the roaches approaching you at once. But because of the sheer amount of wubbas, they will mostly take care of it for you. This room, in contrast, can be thought of as a more extreme version of Once North, where almost the entire floor is covered in trapdoors. And the wubbas are much more of a bigger threat because of how little room you have to move around. The exit room of this level is mimicking the exit level of the 5th level in the official hold. And I use similar dialogue as well, where Beefthrow chastises Hal for playing around with the wubbas.
Got it!
The strategy in this room is to manipulate the wubbas so that they do not block your progress. Nor do they block Hal's progress, as this wubba would. Now that I've given you an explanation of the thought process behind the 3rd level in my Seeker of the Blank Dungeon hold, I can give you an explanation of the thought process in the 4th level in my next video. See you then.